Lesson 134. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is.
Hi there. Ready to explore the true meaning of forgiveness and how it can lead to a happier and more peaceful life? This is actually the core of A Course in Miracles, and the importance of learning what true forgiveness is cannot be overstated. Let's dive into Lesson 134 today.
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is.
As we've been taught the worldly meaning of forgiveness, now forgiveness might appear to us as surrendering our right to anger, gifting someone undeservedly, or denying the truth of some injustice that actually happened. In such a view, forgiveness must be seen at best as a mere eccentric folly. However, a slight shift in perspective can correct this. Here's a very important thing to keep in mind: true forgiveness only applies to illusions, not reality. True forgiveness must be limited to what is false. The only truth there is God's creation, and God's creation needs no pardon. All truth belongs to God, reflects His laws, and radiates His love. Does this need pardon? Do we think we need to forgive the sinless? The main difficulty in understanding genuine forgiveness is that we believe we're pardoning the truth, not illusions. We think we need to forgive someone for something that actually happened. We believe that forgiveness means ignoring the truth of what occurred, and in this way, we deceive ourselves by making illusions seem real to us. This reflects the stubborn idea that sin is real, and if sin is real, then forgiveness must be a deception. If sins are real, then forgiveness must be a lie. This perspective leads to the notion that sins cannot be forgiven and guilt is eternal. And those who believe they are forgiven feel judged twice: first, by themselves for their perceived wrongs, and then again by those who forgive them. However, when we recognize sin as an illusion, forgiveness becomes easy and peaceful, a blessing for both the giver and the receiver.
Forgiveness is the only thing that stands for truth in the illusions of the world.
True forgiveness doesn't support illusions but gently exposes them to the truth, causing them to vanish. It is the beacon of truth in this world of illusions. Forgiveness sees the nothingness of the world's illusions, regardless of the many forms in which they may appear. Forgiveness looks on lies but is not deceived by them. Forgiveness hears the self-accusing cries of our brothers who think of themselves as sinners. It looks on them with quiet eyes and calmly says to them,
My brother, what you think is not the truth.
Forgiveness's strength lies in its honesty, an honesty that sees illusions for what they are and restores the simple truth by disregarding what isn't real. By its ability to ignore what isn't real, it opens up the path to truth, which has been blocked by our dreams of guilt. Now we're free to follow the path our true forgiveness has cleared. Because if one brother has received this gift from us, the door is open to us as well. In truth, it's very simple to find the door to true forgiveness. Whenever we feel tempted to blame someone, let's not dwell on their perceived sins. Instead, let's simply remember that this would be just self-deception. Then, let's ask ourselves,
Would I accuse myself of doing this?
And this helps us maintain a mind free of guilt and pain, as God intended it to be. Lies are what condemn. Innocence is the only thing that exists. Forgiveness serves as a bridge between illusions and truth, guiding us from the hell of guilt to heaven's gates. All illusions of evil and hatred are silently brought to truth through forgiveness. We've been gently awakened from illusions by understanding that what we thought we saw was never there. We don't need to fight to save ourselves, we don't need to slay dragons, or build fortresses. We can shed the heavy and useless armor that chains our mind to fear and misery. Our steps are light and, as we move forward, we leave a star behind to show the way for those who come after us.
Forgiveness must be practiced, for the world cannot perceive its meaning, nor provide a guide to teach you its beneficence.
Forgiveness is something that must be practiced, as its true meaning and laws are unfamiliar to the world. This world cannot teach us what true forgiveness is, it cannot help us understand the laws it follows. And yet, when we realize forgiveness and practice it, the world joins our mind with the reality within us, manifesting and changing accordingly. Let's practice true forgiveness today, not delaying our union with reality in freedom and peace. Our practice will help light the way for those who will follow us to the reality we share with them. To make this happen, twice today, let's devote 15 minutes to our practice periods. Let's connect to our inner guide, who understands the meaning of forgiveness and was sent to teach us. Let's ask him for help.
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is.
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is.
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is.
Then, let's choose one person, a brother our guide suggests to us, and let's think about their perceived sins, one by one, as they cross our mind. Let's not dwell on any particular one, instead, let's realize that we are using our brother's perceived sins to save the world from all ideas of sin. Let's think about all the evil things we have thought about them, and each time let's ask ourselves,
Would I condemn myself for doing this?
then, let's release our brother from all the ideas of sin we had about them. And we will free ourselves as well. Let's practice this exercise with willingness and honesty, and we may start to feel lighter and with a deep sense of relief.
The time remaining should be given to experiencing the escape from all the heavy chains you sought to lay upon your brother, but were laid upon yourself.
Today, let's practice forgiveness all throughout the day, as there will be many times when we will forget the meaning of forgiveness and attack ourselves. Whenever this happens, let's allow our mind to see beyond the illusion and tell ourselves,
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Would I accuse myself of doing this? I will not lay this chain upon myself.
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Would I accuse myself of doing this? I will not lay this chain upon myself.
Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Would I accuse myself of doing this? I will not lay this chain upon myself.
and in everything we do today, let's also remember this.
No one is crucified alone, and yet no one can enter heaven by himself.
No one is crucified alone, and yet no one can enter heaven by himself.
No one is crucified alone, and yet no one can enter heaven by himself.
What do you think? Isn't it remarkable how true forgiveness can guide us toward a totally different life? Just to sum up once more, we've been taught the worldly meaning of the word forgiveness, in which there's somebody who's separate from us and who's guilty of having done something wrong, and in which we put ourselves in a morally superior position and grant them pardon. That's not true forgiveness, not from the perspective of A Course in Miracles. Real forgiveness is recognizing that the thing we were supposed to pardon someone for wasn't real to begin with, it was just an illusion. It wasn't real. We extend our perception through the appearances of what happened in this physical world of illusions, to beyond that, to the world of love and oneness that lies beyond. We aren't separate from one another, and we aren't separate from the person we think we need to forgive. Whatever happened, happened in the realm of illusions, in the drama of our lives here on earth that we're all acting out. In truth, only love is real. This awareness never makes us weak, nor does it allow others to overstep our boundaries. It makes us strong and wise. It makes us effective in saying no when we need to say no, in taking a stand when needed, and in taking the proper form of action when necessary. But whatever strong action we might be inspired to take, we will take it in peace. We will take it in love. We will take it in oneness. You're doing fantastic. See you tomorrow for another enlightening lesson. Quick note before you go. Making these videos is a labor of love, but it's still financially challenging. If you've found value in what you've watched, please consider supporting with a donation. Even the humblest contribution means the world and ensures the continuation of these daily lessons. Thank you for your generosity.
Did you enjoy the video and find it helpful? Please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day. And if you've been with us for a while, please consider supporting the channel. There's a lot of love behind these videos. Check out the video description for more details.